All right, here we go with this week's SoCal Multifamily Sales Pulse. All right, this week in what's happening in the market. More research shows cap rates likely to keep compressing. Multifamily, industrial, retail, and office will all feel continued pressure, NRA says. Opinions are starting to pile up that commercial real estate will remain hot, prices will rise, and as a result, cap rates will fall. The National Association of Realtors released an analysis that said cap rates were likely to keep compressing in 2022 despite rising interest rates. Although typically rising interest rates would push up mortgage costs, create downward pressure on property prices, that may not be the case, at least not for now, because other factors keep pushing up prices and in turn further compress cap rates. Multifamily units as well as single-family rentals and build-to-rent units will see greater demand as higher mortgage rates and house prices expand the pool of people who are no longer able to buy a home. The greater the demand, the greater the potential rent, and investors are buying future rent rolls. All right, the pulse of the market. The average days to sell dropped in just about every county to the fewest days on market ever. The average days to sell for the entire Southern California area was just 33 days last month. And similar to the prior week, last week saw a slight increase in inventory in all counties except the Inland Empire. So the overall trajectory of inventory is up. Cap rates and gross rent multipliers haven't changed much, if at all, since the beginning of the year, although that is expected to change as we move through the year. The monthly absorption rates for last month increased in every county except the Inland Empire, where Riverside County was unchanged and San Bernardino County was the only county with a lower absorption rate. Okay, looking at Orange County's monthly absorption rate was up to 2.18 months last month. The previous month it was at 1.27 months. And then looking at the monthly charts for Orange County's days to sell average was down to its lowest point in the last 4 years at just 23 days. And the number of active listings last month, or on a monthly basis, was up slightly. And this stat includes listings that are active, under contract, and pending. And the number of new listings last month, just in the last month, was up. And there was an increase over the last 2 months, and the overall trend has been up over the last 5 months. The number of sales dropped last month, as this stat has been up and down over the last 11 months. Okay, looking at Long Beach. Long Beach monthly absorption rate was up last month to 2.6 months, and it was previously at 1.79 months. And for the Long Beach multifamily monthly charts, the days to sell average is at its lowest point ever. It's at 23 days last month. It was on the upswing the previous month at 44 days, but then dropped again down to 23 days. And the number of active listings, there was a slight increase over the last month, and it's been roughly about the same for the last 5 months, somewhere between 125 to 124 listings. And the monthly number of new listings was up for the third time out of the last 4 months, and the average price per square foot continued its overall trend upward and gradually increased over the last 4 years. The number of sales stat was down slightly but was still about the same as it has been over the last 4 months. Okay, looking at Los Angeles County, Los Angeles County's monthly absorption rate increased to 3.48 months. The previous month it was at 3.17 months. The monthly charts for Los Angeles County, the days to sell average was down to 54 days. That's decreased over the last 2 months. And the active listings, the number of active listings was up again last month and has been for the last 3 months. The monthly number of new listings has remained about unchanged over the last 3 months. It was up 2 consecutive months from a low of 372, but then has increased over the last 4 months. The number of sales per month was down slightly over the prior month, but has increased over the last, or had increased the previous month. And this is number of sales is down slightly after a significant increase in the previous month. Okay, let's take a look at San Diego County now. San Diego County's monthly absorption rate was 1.93 months last month, and the previous month it was at 1.48 months. And the biggest surprise for San Diego County is the days to sell average is down to just 11 days. That is like sells almost immediately as a property hits the market. And the number of active listings saw an increase for the last 4 months, and the monthly number of new listings was down slightly after a pretty significant increase over the last 2 out of the last 3 months. And the number of sales increased slightly last month and has been up over the last 2 months after falling in the 2 months prior to that increase. Okay, looking at Riverside County, the monthly absorption rate was unchanged at 2 months. So no change there. The Riverside County monthly charts, the days to sale average was up and has been increasing over the last 3 months, but just slightly overall. And during that same time period, the active number, or the number of active listings has declined. So we've seen days to sell average increasing, but the number of active listings is declining. So less inventory, but more time on market. And the number of new listings, this is monthly, has increased over the last couple of months, but it's still roughly about the same as it has been for the last 4 months. And the average price per square foot continued its upward trend, and overall, other than the one anomaly there of the 1 month at $525 per square foot, it's been an overall gradual increase. And then monthly number of sales, the monthly number of sales was up slightly from the prior month and been pretty consistent over the last 3 months. All right, San Bernardino County's monthly absorption rate was down from 2 months previously to 1.81 months last month. So it was the only area in Southern California that saw a decrease in the monthly absorption rate. And the monthly charts for San Diego County, the average days to sell fell after being the same for 2 months previously, fell last month to 34 days. And this is the This is the third fewest days to sell in the last 4 years. And the number of active listings was down for the second consecutive month and has been on a downward trend for about the last 12 months. And looking at the number of new listings, this has been down for the last 2 months after increasing in the 2 prior months. The average price per square foot was up considerably from the previous month and has seen an overall upward trend over the last year and a half. And the monthly number of sales saw its second consecutive month of increases after falling in the 2 previous months. Alright, so that wraps up this week's SoCal Multifamily Sales Pulse. You can look at all the closed sales, the weekly stats, and monthly charts in detail in the full report on my website, MikeLembeck.com. And as always, feel free to give me a call or send me an email with any questions on the market. And give me a call if you'd like an analysis done on your property to help determine your equity position for a potential sale or 1031 exchange. And if you're concerned about the availability of an upleg when you're doing a 1031 exchange, we have access to a lot of available inventory using the Delaware Statutory Trust to help you satisfy the need for an exchange. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mike's Multifamily Minutes, so you never miss a video. See you next week.